Hello and welcome to Grand Prix Xi'an coverage. This is, I think, one of our last first round matches, and it's cftsoc on Grixis Ninjas and Dragontwin combo versus Monger on 5-color Angeltouched. So essentially, cftsoc is playing a tempo game where he's aiming to land Suzume Oshiro or some other value ETB creatures and then loop their effects. And while he's building up card advantage and tempo, eventually using Kinken and Fire Shaper Adept, infinitely create an infinite number of 1/1 tokens, and then use them to kill his opponent. Meanwhile, Monger is on more of a value plan. His deck Angeltouched is running sets of the lands it was named for, Angeltouched lands. Essentially, they're 3-color lands which enter untapped. However, you can't use the mana that they create to cast monocolored spells. So basically every card in a Monger's deck is, 2-color in some way. This includes removal, win cons, which leads to not being able to use some of the best tools in the format, but still having access to lots of powerful cards. So right now, cftsoc essentially was able to cast Brainstorm on a body, but then Monger killed it with his Blood Frenzy. And cftsoc opting to not play anything. Okay. I know he does have some instant speed interaction in this list. Yeah, he's got Darklands Charm and Unraveling, so it could be he does have Unending Sands untapped, so because he doesn't have the mana for either Darklands Charm or Unraveling right now, so it's probably going to be that he's going to use Unending Sands to search for something and then end step, or he's just trying to Rattlesnake and make Monger question his choices. But, okay, Leyline Alignment Field. And I believe Monger cast an Oracle's Vision turn 1, I'm not certain. But for each color, so he adds 4 colors, plays Archive Guardian, he can return something. Nope, okay, so it looks like he's cracking the Unending Sands, probably going to counter Archive Guardian. I don't know if that's a good choice, though, because Archive Guardian's conjure cost means that Monger will get it back anyways. And cftsoc not having anything on board means that the tempo really won't do much. But yeah, I guess he's just going to Unraveling it. Oh, interesting. Okay, actually, I guess I must have missed this, but since Oracle Vision is symmetrical, what must have happened is that cftsoc also milled an Unraveling earlier, and that led to him being able to freeze all of Monger's lands. So yeah, okay, at that point it becomes worth it. So and cftsoc does have like a full clutch here. Tapping out for Prying Inquiry. Okay. This is interesting because I assumed he'd try to go for board presence, but yeah, grabbing I think you probably want to grab a Rain's Eye here. Yeah, grabbing Rain's Eye. Singularity's Grasp, like both of these cards are very dangerous. Singularity's Grasp basically kills his combo. And Crystal Wave is not as efficient as matchup because cftsoc just plays tempo better than you do. And like countering his stuff is not as big a deal as countering Monger's stuff. But I guess it can be good when he doesn't have board presence. I'm still questioning, like, if he didn't have a creature, or if he did have a creature, why he didn't cast it now. Because as far as I know, Monger does not have any 1-mana removal. He could be worried about, no, even with another Leyline, he wouldn't be able to activate Leyline Alignment Field. So Just gonna quickly check Monger's list. Yeah, on 1, he doesn't have any removal. So I guess that means cftsoc must not have any of his utility creatures, or he's holding up the only creature he has is Fire Shaper. Because yeah, if he had Reprising, he would likely cast it because we know he has Unraveling Engrave, and being able to just hold that up is insane. Imperial Artisan, I think, unless he was very worried about having to mess up his next draw set, even then, I think he would cast Imperial Artisan right now. And Suzume, I think he definitely should cast. Anyway, so I guess what did he seek Prophecy for? Well, actually, we can't see what he seek Prophecy for, unfortunately, given Lackey's limitations. But it looks like, oh, okay, he cast Imperial Artisan into Suzume Oshiro. And this is where it starts getting a little bit problematic. The good news is that he doesn't have any interaction. Or sorry, the good news is that while cftsoc doesn't have any interaction, I don't know that. No, actually, Monger can just wipe his board. Suzume can bounce herself, but then I think Monger will probably wait for the Singularity's Grasp. Oh, double alignment field is huge, actually. Oh my god. Okay, so how much mana does it give him? But that's all he's doing? What does he have? He has 3 cards in hand. He has Singularity's Grasp, and we know okay, I guess he's holding up Crystal Wave. So we know that. What else does he potentially have at instant speed? He's mostly he could have another Blood Frenzy. Singularity's Grasp is instant speed. Oh, okay, interesting. I thought it was sorcery speed this whole time. So I guess you would just wait for cftsoc to overextend, or Singularity's Grasp at instant speed makes him safe from the King-Ken combo on multiple angles, where if cftsoc were to go off right now, he can stop it. If cftsoc was to try and play King-Ken and then pass, he could Singularity's Grasp and conceivably be safe. But yeah, I'm not sure what. Now that he has Suzume, now that cftsoc has Suzume out, it's a lot harder to. Oh, and that's a Reprising Bard. Yeah, you probably don't want Reprising Bard on Unraveling to resolve. Yeah, so he's gonna tap out for Crystal Wave. Oh, he's discarding his hand. Okay, so I guess he. But that's actually. Oh, I don't know if that's the right move, since Singularity's Grasp is huge in this matchup. cftsoc saying Thinking, which it could just be a big brain play to make Monger think that he has Unraveling, or he could just actually straight up have Unraveling. Again, binning the Singularity's Grasp and Imperial. Okay, so I guess binning Imperial Titan is. He's okay with binning Imperial Titan because then he has a legitimate threat, which he can then use to. I guess he would want to kill lands, since See, this is the problem, because cftsoc is on 6 lands, which I don't think is a normal occurrence for his deck. And usually having the Titan and just taking out a land would be strong enough. Oh, what happened? Oh, he Darklands Charm and then brought back Reprising Bard. Okay, that's a problem. So and he has enough mana to recast Reprising Bard. So Monger is in a pretty bad situation here, it looks like. Because we know whatever he does, the first spell he casts this turn is going to be countered. Or maybe not first, but a spell is going to be countered. This also gives cftsoc combo protection at instant speed for free. Though cftsoc is on one card in hand, so unless he has both King Ken and, or unless he has either King Ken or Fire Shaper and he draws into another one, I don't think the combo is what's Monger's gonna have to worry about. And not attacking with Imp Artisan and Suzume seems weird. I thought he would want to put pressure on Monger, especially since once Monger's tapped out, like what does he have, right? Yeah, that seems like an odd decision to me. I don't know why he held back Suzume and Imperial Artisan. It might just be that he got very caught up in the reprising bard play that he completely forgot about combat. Still doesn't seem like a great justification. Are there any hasty attackers in Monger's board or anything that would worry him about being tapped? I guess but it doesn't. You can't block Soul of Iskathia, so I don't think worrying about that would make a lot of sense. Doesn't seem like there's a reason. Okay, so he's tapping out for the Recall Forgotten Aeons. That was from his hand. And he's leaving BR up. So that gives him back some card advantage. Yeah, I don't think cftsoc is not going to counter that yet. He's okay with Monger having stuff, I guess, as long as Oracle's Vision. Again, this is likely to resolve. cftsoc thinking about it. Oh no, he's not. Okay, so Monger mills another Imperial Titan. Yeah, so that's what you want to keep the unraveling up for. I think Monger might hold mana up and then never mind. Okay, I think this might have been a mistake. Because the flash on Imperial Titan blow up the clue. I feel like you'd want to blow up a land. Though I guess clue gives him ways to get card flow. Yeah, the reason I think this was a bad, or I guess cftsoc would just unraveling and then scry 2 and then do the lands you don't control, but I think it would have been better for no, yeah. So yeah, Monger is effectively getting time locked here again. Yeah, man. I don't know if there's much Monger can do here. What he really needed was to have 2 threats ready that turn, so he could cast Imp Titan, probably try to shoot Granny, and then force him to bounce Granny herself. Or bounce. Yeah, actually, that was also a mistake on the caster. He should have targeted Granny, because Granny would be forced to either bounce herself or bounce Reprising Bard and Cat. Because even if Unraveling countered the Titan, the ability couldn't be countered. So it would be like a difficult choice for CFT. Or well, maybe, yeah, it would be a difficult choice for CFT. Okay, another Imperial Artisan. Okay, so how this is going to play out is if CFD gets the combo here, Monger loses. Otherwise, if cftsoc continues not attacking, which again seems like a bad move, but if he continues to not attack, Monger will just have to basically hope that cftsoc doesn't draw the combo in this turn or the next. Then next turn he has access to 2 threats. And even if he casts Reprising Bard, oh, that's worrisome. That's a King-Ken. So that's 1/2 of the combo. Well, technically 1/3 because you need Suzume or Shiro or another Fire Shaper Adept to actually complete the combo. But yeah, he's thinking, which makes me think he doesn't have the combo, because if he had the combo, he would just go for it now. He tapped wrong. Is it because he only has... It doesn't matter, because he still has another turn. Because of Monger being tapped out, effectively time-locked. But I guess that means he only has 1 mountain in his list. Let's look. Yeah, he only has 1 basic mountain, which means Wayfarer's Shrine can't find it, and without a red source, he can't cast Fire Shaper Adept. What this does mean is that Monger knows that he has the combo, essentially. But yeah, there's nothing he can do. Monger's essentially lost at this point. Is there anything that is like free from the grave that can stop this combo? I really doubt it, but let's check. All of these are sorcery speed. None of them are instant. He doesn't have any way to generate mana. He doesn't have any way to generate more land drops because he's already uses 1 land. If he'd got... Yeah, this game is over. He's thinking about it. Or actually, wait, I might be misevaluating this. He could be saying I tapped wrong because he wanted to cast Reprising Bard on Unraveling. If it wasn't that, then I think what'll happen here is, like if cftsoc doesn't already have the combo, Darkland's Charm, Fire Shapers, and Grave. Yeah, that's game. That's game. Oh, is he playing Reprising Bard for... I guess he's doing it for just in case combo protection, since there's no reason not to. And yep, so game 1 goes to cftsoc. Okay, so let's look at their sideboards and see what will probably be brought in. Singularity's Grasp will, I think, definitely be brought in because on 1, it just kills the combo. Crystal Wave maybe is better interaction. Because of how much... I don't know, does cftsoc's deck mill that much? It has Monkey Shines, it has Seek, so... And it does use Darkland's Charm as like as a way to like grab cards from grave. So I could see Bahoom's Penance or Bahoom himself coming in. Thought Blossom, maybe. Sorcerous Spyglass for sure. Sorcerous Spyglass on Grandma basically cuts out half their deck, so it's really strong. Spellhunter is not for this matchup, so I don't think so. Sevid, I don't think so. I'm honestly not quite sure why Sevid is in the sideboard, except maybe for like grindier matchups. I'm trying to play out in my head how this would work in this matchup. And I'm not sure. I don't think it's what he wants. And then Chain of Subdual for sure, because you don't want ETB triggers to happen. So probably Chain of Subdual, Sorcerer's Spyglass for sure. Singularity's Grasp for sure. Probably siding out Unearthly Djinn tentatively. And then Bahum's Penance, and Thought Blossom I'm shaky on. It depends on how Monger views the matchup and what, like, because he has multiple angles that he could try and play this matchup from by virtue of how his deck is made. So, yeah. Meanwhile, for cftsoc, Rogar's Frenzy, Demolitionist Divisor, Chigao, Dune Grasp, Negate. I think probably Negate as combo protection. But I think cftsoc deck is kind of tech. I'm not really sure that he'll need Rogs or Demolitionist Divisor. He could bring them in. I think just having repeatable fast damage is good. But I think most of his sideboard is just like lots of this is just stuff that will be like ambivalent in this matchup unless I'm misevaluating something. Dune Grasp I think will be like actively not great in this matchup, and Negate is just combo protection. So I think cftsoc sideboarding is likely to be fairly straightforward. Now, an interesting about Lackey is that you can actually see how much people are siding. And both of them are actually siding like a fair amount, which means maybe cftsoc's sideboarding is more drastic than I'd initially assumed. So Monger looks like he's fully sided. cftsoc still, he boarded in more than 4 cards. He used to board out 4 more. What would he board out in this matchup? I'm not quite sure, honestly. Maybe Monument to the Fallen Man? But Monument is good, but it's just the one thing that I just... Maybe Imperial Artisan, because Imperial Artisan is more grindy in favor of stuff like Frogs and Demolitionist Divisor for direct damage. But the best way to kill your opponent, or at least kill an opponent as grindy and with as much life gain as Monger, is to just have the combo. I think if he was to try and bring Rogs and Demolitionist Divisor in to just burn Monger out, I think that would be a mistake, just because Monger's only angle of attack versus the combo is Singularity's Grasp. Which you can Prying Inquiry and grab if you end up having Prying Inquiry. Meanwhile, while the Demolitionist Divisor plus Granny is like pretty strong, like Monger's deck has like a bunch of incidental life gain. So and Monger's deck kind of wants to go long, not in the same way as like CFT, because CFT kind of has like a more middling, like I'm going to tempo you out and then eventually drain you of your resources and just like slowly with granny bounces get incremental advantage and kill you. While Monger's is like, the longer the game goes on, the more cards I have in my graveyard, the more things I can repeatedly cast, the more mana I have, so the more crazy greedy I can get with stuff. So yeah, I don't know. This might have been a mistake if he goes that way. Anyway, so we have Monger into play, tapping out Angeltouched turn 1 for Oracle's Vision. He mills two more Angeltouched lands and another cantrip. Meanwhile, CFT mills 2 lands, but more importantly, Unraveling. So that's a problem with Oracle's Vision. It can sometimes be a blessing, it can sometimes be a curse, just because of that symmetry. And cftsoc is going to further mill himself with Monkey Shines, so cantrip. It's a cantrip versus cantrip matchup right now. I will say Monger's counterspells only being on 3 is a huge blow, because that means that, well, I guess it doubles as like a creature destruction. Oh wow, does Monger not have a second land? he mills Crystal Wave, Unearthed Legion, Leyline, and Iron Field, so that's another land. Meanwhile, oh, he has another land, and he's playing a third Oracle's Vision. Oh my god. But he mills 2 Singularities Grasp and a Sorcerer's Spyglass. No. And meanwhile, cftsoc had milled another Unraveling there. So now Unraveling on, if he has another Unraveling, he gets to play 3 modes of it. Also, 2 Fire Shaper in the grave is good, because if he has Darklands Charm, he can grab it back once he has Granny and the other combo pieces. Fire Shaper is not a card that you would really want in hand, just because like it clogs up hand space and you don't really need it until you have the combo. So having it in grave is good. If Monger wasn't Hunter's Hideout, that would have been the ideal hand. For those who don't know, Hunter's Hideout is a 1/3 enchantment, which has a piece of text. At the beginning of your end step, if you have 12 or more cards in your graveyard, you can create 2 3/3 beast tokens. So triple Oracle's Vision gets you there turn 3. So that would have been the dream. Okay, so he's fetching for Mountain Spring. Okay, and a Reprising Bard. Oh my god. A Reprising Bard on Unraveling? No, Darklands Charm. That's surprising. Or well, I guess without Granny, Unraveling becomes significantly worse. Or he could have Unraveling in hand and doesn't want to dilute its effectiveness for next turn. Yeah. Okay, so Monger now has 3 Angeltouched. He's going to recall Forgotten Aeons. But he doesn't have another cantrip to play, unfortunately. Ooh, that's a Kinkin. That's really interesting because what is he naming? Is he going to name Reprising Bard? Actually, Kinkin on Reprising Bard would make a lot. Yeah, I was about to say like without the combo, but Kinkin on Reprising Bard, you just drop it in there, and every time you get a free effect. So is he just gonna unravel? Oh, this is terrible for Monger. His lands are just never gonna untap. He's probably gonna do the Scry 2 mode, and then lands your opponent's control don't untap. Yeah, 4 because oh my god. And this could just this is actually a combo that I hadn't thought of. This just locks Monger out of the game. Unless he drops a land next turn, Blood Frenzy, the Reprising Bard. But the problem is Reprising Bard on Darklands Charm means that once Reprising Bard is killed, he can bring back Darklands. He can use Darklands Charm to bring back Reprising Bard, even though Reprising Bard doesn't have haste. That would be insane. But it just means that cftsoc, no matter what Monger does, is like in a really favorable position. And as crazy as it sounds, that might just end the game on turn 3. And I know this and this isn't even the combo that the combo deck is made for. It's just like incidental strong synergy. Though to be fair, it wouldn't have been able to set this up if Monger hadn't milled him for 9. Which again, Oracle's Vision is a strong card if you're in a graveyard deck, but because of how graveyard focused the meta is and how cards are in general, it's really proving to be a double-edged sword this GP. So it looks like because of how Lackey works, cftsoc was supposed to scry then draw, but accidentally drew before he was done scrying. So while we can't see the cards that are revealed technically, yeah, it looks like they're just going to make a judge call. It's the middle of the day, so I wonder if Wendy or Resident Judge will actually even be there. Which I think, no matter how this judge call goes, I just looking at the board right now, I don't see a way for Monger to make a way out of this. So let's look at his deck real quick and see what outs he has. So even if he gets, does he have remove yet? He milled 2 of his Singularity's Grasp. But what would need to happen is he would need to, for the next 3 turns, play, yeah, but then that just, he dies in 3 turns. Does he? Does he die in 3 turns? He dies in 4 turns. So what you would need to do is draw Singularity's Grasps just naturally. Also draw 3 more lands. Play those lands. And then Singularity's Grasp for x equals 2. And then that would destroy Kinkan and destroy Reprising Bard. He would Darklands Charm and get Reprising Bard back, and Monger would be in a really bad situation being at 4 life. And this is also assuming that cftsoc doesn't draw any counter spells. I think, or draw, how many Unravelings does Unravelings and other counter spells does he have? So he's got Unraveling and Negate from the side. See, this is this, and we know that he's got 2 Unraveling Graves. So this is assuming that he doesn't draw one of his other Unravelings or Negates, which basically just stuff Monger. Yeah, we're running into an issue where, since Wendy is just our only tournament judge, when there are rules calls, like, given that our tournament matches take place at odd times, given that they're online and we have to coordinate times, etc., when Wendy is not there, things can sometimes become difficult for making rules decisions. Or we could, Pipsqueak, who was the former event organizer and participant, may make a judge call. They were just added and now are online, probably scrolling up right now and reading the situation. So looking at extra cards, also cards when you knock over a card, drop a card when shuffling an opponent's deck, start to draw a card when you shouldn't, and milling or dredging too many cards. So it's a looking at extra cards violation. Okay, so Pipsqueak is here. Apparently they are currently right now next to a level 2 judge, and I believe they themselves are at some level of judge as well. So you're asking, are any other cards in the deck known? There's no other scries involved. So it's simple. It's what cftsoc said. Just put the card back, do the card again. I mean, do the resolve Unraveling again. cftsoc will probably get a warning, which is usually not relevant because you need 3 warnings of the same type for it to be upgraded. And that rarely, if ever, happens. But it's just something to note. Okay, so now that Unraveling has been properly resolved, we can get back to the game. I expect it's going to be a short one, but let's see. Monger can still hopefully, and that's a smile of a defeated man. He did draw a land, and now cftsoc can just continually keep the rest of his lands tapped, and Monger just has to grin and bear it. So I incorrectly said earlier, actually, that Monger's only out with a Singularity's Grasp. The reality is, if he draws an Angeltouched land which can produce red, and he has Blood Frenzy, he will be okay. Actually, now things get way more complicated. Well, actually, I guess it's the same as Darklands Storm, really. But so Monger's out is casting Blood Frenzy on the Reprising board, but then the issue here is that he can just okay, that thing I said earlier about it's not likely that you get several warnings of the cftsoc type. cftsoc is now about to get a second warning of the same type. At 3 warnings, I believe it upgrades to a game loss. So let's just hope he doesn't make another mistake with that same type, especially when he is in a situation which I'm trying to figure out if it's actually unwinnable or just close to unwinnable, but at this point, I believe it's genuinely unwinnable. For Monger, at least. Yeah, this is... If cftsoc loses this game due to game rule violations which are caused by technical difficulties, that'll be a heartbreaker. Because while this is a really sad and unenviable position for Monger, it only comes. It's not like it's unfair in any way. cftsoc just has a very strong deck. Happened to run into Monger playing cards which have strong synergy, or I guess strong symmetrical cards which give cftsoc good synergy. And yes, cftsoc has legitimately put himself into a very strong position, which was enabled by good deck building, and losing at this point due to what would on one hand be his own fault, but on the other hand be the technical limitations that we have by virtue of playing online, would be a sad way for this second game to end. It wouldn't leave a good taste in anyone's mouth. Maybe the secret tech is just not using that mode of unraveling. Just I'll make all of your non-existent creatures get minus 3/0. Unironically, that might just be the safer thing for him to do. And Monger fails to draw another land. Okay, so swinging out for 6. So Monger is dead next turn. Prying Inquiry is not instant speed. What is going on? Is the seal that is doing this main too? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess it makes sense for him to take Frenzy, but then he has access to another Frenzy, and giving him a Frenzy Engrave gives him blockers. I guess he has to pay 3 life for it, but none of the other cards he had. But I guess he doesn't have mana to cast any other cards in hand. So yeah, that's it. A brutal lock and finish from cftsoc, and oh, that's a heartbreaker. He needed that one land a while back to play Blood Frenzy. But oh yeah, Mon into the Fallen Man would let him immediately tap it, play Reprising Bard, and then because of the pseudo haste from flashing it in end step, yeah. But that was brutal. Good games to cftsoc. I'm gonna see if we can get one or either of them into this voice chat for a post-set interview. Hello, cftsoc.
Hi.
So, talk to me about those games. Was that
I
Reprising
am
Bard
not
block
very good
something that you had in mind when making the deck, or was it just a happy accident?
Yeah, that's actually why I chose Unraveling over Crystal Wave.
Okay.
Because of that interaction.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Um, I missed an unraveling lock in game 1 with Bard like for a couple turns because I forgot about it. Well, I don't know. I forgot about that thing, I guess.
That line.
I'm not very good at the playing this deck at all. So
Okay. When you were like sideboarding, was there anything specific that you were like thinking of? Because I was just looking over for sideboard and I was thinking that you seem to be pretty favored in the main anyways, but I just want to hear your thoughts.
yeah. I brought in 2 Dune Grasps and nothing else.
Okay. Interesting. What are the Dune Grasps for?
I felt like the board, if the board got clogged up, I might need the combo to win, and I want to maybe get rid of chains.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I hadn't thought of chains, to be fair.
Or yeah,
I was or Sorcerer's Spyglass. Yeah, I was thinking of like negate because I felt like Singularity's Grasp could really put a damper on your combo.
oh, I did not even realize that was an instant.
It doesn't feel like a card that should be an instant, right? But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I felt like he has a lot of creatures though, so I don't know. Dune Grass is just like a not a bad card because bouncing my own stuff is really good. And it helps start the combo, so
Yeah, and like with stuff like Imperial, like in Monger's deck, I guess well, I guess it isn't likely that you'll get to enough deserts to actually bounce an Imperial Titan, but like bouncing something like Imperial Titan forces Monger to have to like find some way to bin it again, and only then can he cast it. Like it's like there's just some like unique targets here, or like if he like uses Soul of Iskathia from his graveyard to like create a token of something, you can just Dune Grasp the token.
Instant speed on Rain's Eye if he has some stuff under it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, there's something I was gonna say, but I completely forgotten. I don't think there was much else anyways, because I think it was a fairly straightforward matchup. Oh, actually, I remember what I want to talk about. The Oracle's Vision. Like, because I think, like, I was just seeing, like, in general, I think this match is, like, a good example of it, but I think something I've just been seeing in general with this GP is how much of a double-edged sword Oracle's Vision is in a graveyard meta. What do you think about that?
Yeah. I don't... It's still clearly, like, the best graveyard cantrip, I think. But... Yeah, I guess in some matchups, yeah. It can kind of just, like, be better for your opponent than yourself. I mean, it's not really a reason not to play it, I guess. But I guess you can just RNG into some matchups.
Okay. Well, are there any other thoughts you have about like the game or your deck or the matchup?
Yeah, I don't know. I still need to figure out how to play this deck, so...
Okay. Well, you piloted it pretty well, I think. Like, just locking someone out turn 3 is a pretty good achievement.
Yeah, I don't know. I missed like I said, I figured out the Bard block a couple turns later than I should have in game one.
Yeah, but I think like if there's any matchup where like you have the time to like figure stuff out, it's this one. So hopefully now that like you've played a little bit more of the deck going on in future rounds, you'll feel like more comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, well, congratulations and good luck for the rest of the GP.
Thanks.